The Jungle Bird is an ideal, well-rounded libation for any cocktail enthusiast. Our team of professional mixologists have put in the hard work and cocktail science research to ensure that our recipe results in maximum enjoyment. So, sip on a Jungle Bird today and take a flavor trip to paradise.
This can't be right. 4 ounces of pineapple? This is what we've been telling people? That's way too much pineapple. How could this have happened? Holy wahoo. Big pineapple core. We gotta get the word out. That amount of pineapple could ruin any cocktail. It's dangerous. So the last time we talked about the Jungle Bird, it was almost nearly 2 years ago. And looking back now, we realize that this recipe is looking a bit dated and in desperate need of an update, and maybe even an upgrade. So we thought we'd share with you not just 1, but 2 new versions of the recipe that you can make at home. But first, let's take a look at where they came from. So like most recipes that have resurfaced in the modern age, the first Jungle Bird recipe that we shared with you came from Jeff Beachbum Barry, who found it in an 80s paperback edition of the New American Bartender's Guide by John J. Poyster. That version of the Jungle Bird recipe, which is likely adapted from the Kuala Lumpur Aviary Bar, contains 4 ounces of pineapple juice, which can absolutely drown out any hope of complex flavor, even with the bitter Amaro involved. But thankfully, around 2010, at the now defunct Painkiller Bar in New York City, mixologist Giuseppe Gonzalez rebalanced the classic into something far more palatable for craft cocktail enthusiasts. With those small but effective changes, the ingredients now consist of lime, pineapple, Demerara syrup, Campari, and a Blackstrap rum. Dialing back the pineapple and swapping the Jamaican for Blackstrap rum should not only let the spirits come forward, but the Blackstrap should pair nicely with the bitterness of that Campari. All right, let's start with the ½ ounce of lime, 1½ ounces of pineapple juice, ½ ounce of Demerara syrup, 3/4 ounces of Campari, and finally the 1½ ounces of Blackstrap rum. We're going to use Gosling's. All right, let's pour this into our shaker. Going to add several ice cubes to chill the drink as we shake it and dilute it a little bit. Shake for about 10 to 15 seconds. Also, this sounds cool. Let's serve this guy in a Double Rocks Mai Tai glass with some crushed ice. Let's strain it in. That beautiful color that we've seen before. Nice froth on the top from that pineapple. Awesome. We're gonna garnish this with a couple of pineapple fronds and a pineapple wedge, because why not? Stick a straw in, and there it is, the rebalanced Jungle Bird. Let's give it a shot, see how it compares. Yeah, it's actually very smooth. The Campari doesn't overpower too much. You still get the bitterness on the back end. The Blackstrap kind of blends nicely with the pineapple juice and the lime. So it all kind of gels into like a new, solid kind of new flavor. I really dig it. Thank you, Giuseppe, for fixing this one. So the even more modern variation that we're going to share with you now brings us full circle back to Jeff Barry and his New Orleans bar, Latitude 29, where Jeff has his own twist on the Jungle Bird that he calls Paul of the Jungle. This drink is apparently named after legendary New Orleans bartender Paul Gustings, and it kicks the bitter aspect of this classic into high gear. Now this recipe is not necessarily the real one, but more of a reverse-engineered approximation provided by mixology enthusiast and author Frederick Yarm. But from what I understand, it's very close. It consists of lime, pineapple, vermouth, Campari, Averna Amaro, and then bourbon and Blackstrap rum. That special bittering agent combo should provide an extremely unique flavor blast, along with that split base of rum and bourbon. We'll start once again with the ½ ounce of lime, 2 ounces of pineapple juice, ½ ounce of sweet vermouth, 1/8 of an ounce of Campari. Seems strange, but I'm sure it's all part of the plan. A 1/2 ounce of Averna Amaro. Now, we don't have Averna, so we're using Angostura Amaro. It'll get the job done. 3/4 ounce of bourbon. In this case, we're using pure Kentucky bourbon. Quick side note, this is an overproof bourbon. I would not recommend doing that because it'll probably interfere with the flavor a little bit, but this is what we have on hand, so we're gonna kick it up a notch.
Bam!
And finally, 3/4 ounce of Blackstrap rum. We're using Gosling's. All right, let's pour this into our shaker. Gonna add ice to chill the drink and dilute it a bit as we shake it. Gonna shake for about 10 to 15. Also just sounds cool. Serving this one also in a double rocks Mai Tai with some crushed ice. Now, just strain it in. Still with that nice color. We're gonna garnish this again with a couple pineapple fronds and a pineapple wedge. Stick a straw in. And there we go, Paul of the Jungle. Let's see what this bad boy's like. Wow. This is the first time I've ever had this, and it's not what I expected, but it does make sense. That special bittering combo of Campari, vermouth, and Averna combines together with the bourbon to make an extra sour, bitter flavor. And then the pineapple and the lime sort of round out the other end, but it's definitely much more bitter than the actual Jungle Bird. Just for fun, let's compare the two directly and see what happens. Yeah, going back to the Rebalanced Jungle Bird, it definitely has a more sweeter and full-bodied flavor to it in my opinion. Wow, yeah. The new one, definitely more on the bitter side. This one, in my opinion, maybe a little more well-balanced overall, flavor-wise. You know, it does make sense. It's worth noting that in an interview with Jeff Berry, he actually said that Paul Gustings was a very bitter guy, and that's why this one's an extra bitter drink. So there we go. Thanks for joining us on this Jungle Bird journey that we've had. If you like this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribing so you don't miss out on future recipes and tiki adventures. And until then, cheers.
Big pineapple! Pineapple!